Hello guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto became a Phoenix ninja? Part 2. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. A month flew by. They had completed their mission and were already nearly back at Konoha. By this point they knew they had already missed the first half at least. Just as they were approaching the outskirts of the village they found bodies. One of which belonged to the Kazekage. This is bad. We need to warn the Hokage immediately. They approached the arena and the match between Gaara and Sasuke was already underway. Gaara was having a conversation with the Shukaku inside him and was becoming unstable. It was as if he was fighting for his own sanity. He calmed down a little when he saw Sayuri. She was torn with who to cheer for. On the one hand, she's close to Gaara, but on the other Sasuke is from her village. Sayuri, how are we going to get the message to the Hokage when the impostor is right next to him, along with Anbu? Saito looked up to where the Hokage and fake Kazekage were sitting. I don't know, but we need to think of something, and fast. But we also need to make sure not to draw attention to ourselves. Meanwhile Sasuke was dodging Gaara's sand with lightning speed. For now, all we can do is just watch the match. Sasuke kneed Gaara in the stomach. I'll give Sasuke credit. He's clearly done a lot of training in the past month, I can tell he's improved. Yeah, but do you think he stands a chance against Gaara? Saito asked her. That is something I don't know. See, I know just how strong Gaara is, whereas Sasuke, I know he has potential, but how much of that potential has he achieved? I see. So it could be anyone's match. Exactly. Next, Gaara formed a protective sphere of sand around himself, rendering Sasuke's punch more than useless. Sasuke's hand was bleeding from the impact. She knew what jutsu was coming. Prepare yourselves, this is going to get really ugly. She was on edge. The thing you need to know about Gaara is he's a lot like me. They're both scary. They're both crazy. Okay, that's fair. But seriously. We both had lonely childhoods because of what we are, what we have hidden within us. And now, he's about to unleash it. Sakura and Naruto managed to overhear her, and a look of concern grew on their faces. Just then Sasuke gathered his chakra. Whoa, check out Sasuke. Senji shouted. Oh. He learned Chidori. Sayuri didn't sound as impressed. Of course, I learned to do that a while ago. The blow Sasuke dealt was enough to break the sand. What is this? It's so warm and wet. Gaara then screamed. Blood. It's my blood. What? No way. He's never. Sayuri was shocked and upset that he had actually been injured. Then an arm of sand came out of the cocoon. This is bad. He's never been injured before and now that. What do you mean by that? Saito had a feeling he knew, but he had to be sure. You mean, the thing me and him have in common. The demon within. It's called Shuka. They began to feel sleepy. But Seijen, her eyes began to close. Release. She managed just in time to release herself from Kabuto's Genjutsu. She then had to release Seito and Senji. What do we do? Senji asked her. She sensed the underlying panic in his voice. It is our duty to protect the village. The Hokage has the Anbu and he won't go down without a fight. Let's get the civilians out of here. They worked tirelessly to get as many out as they could, safely in the underground tunnels of the village. It was where Sarutobi had told her to go when she was younger, should the village ever be under attack. They arrived back at the arena to find the Hokage arm in arm with Orochimaru, surrounded by a barrier. It looked like something was being pulled out of him. There's nothing we can do for him, Sayuri. Look, even the Anbu can't get near. Saito was frustrated and Sayuri gritted her teeth. Kakashi-sensei. She looked around and noticed most of the other ninja were gone. Sayuri, Saito and Senji. I need you to do something for me. You want us to find them, don't you? Yes. Sasuke went straight after Gaara, then I sent Sakura, Naruto and Shikamaru after them. Why are they after Gaara? Her eyes narrowed in anger. The Sand Village and Orochimaru are planning to use him as a weapon to destroy Konoha. He needs to be stopped. She lowered her gaze. I know you care about him, that's why I'm not asking you to defeat him, your mission is simply to make sure the others can. As you wish. They left in pursuit. As they were approaching the outskirts of the village they saw the wake of destruction left from the attack. They pressed on. Even though they went as fast as they could, they didn't know precisely where Gaara and the others were. Sayuri could sense Gaara's chakra, as well as Naruto's. They were still a long way off. It's not his fault. Her voice was breaking. He was only doing as he was ordered and Shukaku, it's hard to control. It's okay. We know. You don't have to justify or defend his actions to us. Senji noticed a tear roll down her cheek. Hey, there's Sakura. Senji pointed out. They saw her laying unconscious with a small dog next to her. Right, one of you stay with her and the other see to Sasuke. Right. With that they split up. Up ahead Sayuri reached an opening and saw Naruto and Gaara laying across from each other. They were both in bad shape and out of chakra. Naruto started crawling towards Gaara. Sayuri jumped down and crouched in front of Gaara. She pulled out a kunai. "Stop, Naruto, please. Can't you see he's had enough?" She was crying. She hated to see him hurt. Sayuri Gaara struggled to summon the strength to speak. "Why are you protecting him?" Naruto stopped in his tracks. "Because," she paused. "Because he's precious to me." Gaara's eyes widened in shock at her words. "I've already failed to uphold my promise. But I won't let you hurt him further. I'm precious to her." Gaara whispered to himself. She sensed someone was coming and readied herself. Sasuke, Temari and Kankurum appeared next to her. "That's enough. It's over," Gaara said to them. They looked back to see him. They were surprised to see him in such a state. "Go on, get him out of here," Sayuri instructed them. "No one here is going to stop you." "Thank you, Sayuri. For protecting him," Temari said. Sayuri Gaara wheezed. "Yeah? I'm sorry." She didn't respond with anything more than a smile. As far as she was concerned, he had nothing to apologize to her for, but she knew why he was apologizing. It was for not realizing how he was precious to her. They picked Gaara up and left. She lowered her kunai. They regrouped and went back to the village, only to be informed that the third Hokage had been killed. The time came for the funeral and they all dressed appropriately. The whole village attended and mourned the loss of their Hokage and all those who also perished in the attack. Sayuri kept thinking back to all the memories, one by one they came to her. "Lord Hokage, we found the missing girl." One of the Anbu had rushed into the Hokage's office. "After all this time? Bring her in." Sarutobi stood up and was ready to greet her. They brought her in, but she didn't say a word. "Hello, Sayuri. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Almost 2 years, I believe. We're surprised you're still alive, but we're glad that you are. Do you remember anything that happened before you disappeared?" She shook her head. He could tell she was lying, but didn't want to press her on it. He patted her head. "Welcome home, Sayuri." He handed her a small device. "Here, take it." He smiled. "What is it?" "It's a pocket music player. It can play any songs you put on it and it also gets radio." "Thank you, Lord Hokage." She bowed. It was hard for her to believe he was gone. All the times he helped her learn new techniques, gave her special missions to go to Suna. The time he took her to her new house, the times he let her off for the mischief she caused around the village. Mostly for allowing Sharuka to be her sensei instead of someone else. Now she felt bad for all the trouble she caused back then. She wished she could take it all back, she wished she had told him the truth about when she disappeared. It was too late now. He was never going to pat her head again. She cried as she placed a white flower at his memorial. She had the MP3 player in her hand. It was a gift she was usually never seen without. Often listening to all sorts of songs. "Thank you, Lord Hokage." "So, the Akatsuki are finally making their move?" She asked him. "Yes. You're not giving me much time here, are you? No doubt you can pull it off. 1 week today. You give me far too much credit." She smirked. "Don't doubt yourself. Remember who you are, after all." As he said this, her smile dropped. "Also, when the time comes, you need to tell him the truth. He's not ready. He's not, or you're not. He's not a little kid anymore. He still has a long way to go." "That may be true, but still. He deserves to know." He began coughing up blood. She left, a pain was in her heart. She was clear of the cave by a few miles when she stopped, she was overcome with sorrow and dropped to her knees. She screamed. A tornado of blue fiery chakra circled around her. "Stop it, Sayuri. This won't achieve anything." A deep voice called out to her. "I'm sorry, it's just it hurt so much." "Is this the fate of the Uchiha? To die?" She said through her tears. "Their plan will work. I'll help you make sure of it." "Thank you. I can't help but feel, at times, that maybe it's no use. What if I can't change anything? What if I'm not strong enough to save anyone?" She began to get back on her feet. "Then save them, Sayuri. Find your true strength and find a way. I'm not saying it's your job to save everyone, but I know it's in your heart to do so, no matter what the cost." A week later, she eagerly awaited the arrival. But they were late. She went to go see what was taking them so long, and then she saw them mid-fight with Kakashi, Kurenai and Asuma. She instinctively ran towards them. Kakashi tried to grab her, but it's as though he went right through her. "Sayuri, get out of here. And don't look in his eyes." He shouted to her. "Little brat wants to get involved, huh?" The taller one with a big sword tried using a water-style jutsu on her, with amazing effect. He nearly drowned her, if it weren't for the other guy telling him to stop. She coughed and got herself up. "Sayuri, go. Now. This isn't a fight you can get involved with." Kurenai urged her to go. Frustrated, Sayuri left. Later there was a knock at her door. It was the two men. Well, it's that little brat from before. Why did you bring us here, Itachi?" His smile revealed a row of sharp teeth. "Hey, she kinda looks like you. This brat has a name, and it's Sayuri. No need to ask who you are. Weird shark-looking dude. You're Kisame Hoshigaki." He smiled at the fact she knew him. Seems I'm pretty famous, even here. So what's going on? Anything to report? Itachi asked her. Besides the Hokage dying. But you already knew that. Here's the information you wanted. Next time give me a longer deadline though. Then I can make sure it's more thorough. She handed a scroll to him. Sasuke has been training with Kakashi a lot recently. He's even learned Chidori. However, he can only use it twice, as he is right now. The Sand Village found out Orochimaru had murdered the Kazekage and have signed a new treaty with the Leaf. As for Hokage, they first asked Jiraiya. However, the pervy sage turned it down and instead suggested, since they wanted a Sannin, Tsunade. She giggled a little as she said it. Really, are they trying to make a joke of themselves? I get she's a Sannin but she's up to her eyeballs in debt from what I heard. Does the Leaf really want a leader like that? Oh well. You should go now. Jiraiya is planning on taking Naruto with him to track her down. So she's a little spy then? Yes and no. She's not affiliated with the Akatsuki. She's just doing this as a favor for me. Just then Seito and Senji came through the door. Sayuri, you could have warned us that we had company. Seito smirked. He already knew who they were. We don't, I do. This is still my house, remember? Whatever. He put his hands up and went to the kitchen to drop off the groceries. Senji sat down in front of the TV. Kisum laughed to himself. The fact they didn't bat an eye told him that they were well aware of the situation. You're running out of time. She nodded to the door. Itachi and Kisum left to fulfill their mission. Which they in fact did not. A few days later the young trio were on a mission which brought them to the middle of a dense forest. An area that was familiar to Sayuri from long ago. You guys go on ahead. I'll catch up. Then she quickly vanished. They trusted her enough to not ask questions. She found the place no problem and proceeded down the steps. A scream of agony echoed down the hallway. It stopped once she stood in the doorway. Well look who it is, little Sayuri. Come to finish me off? Of course not, Lord Orochimaru. I actually came to see if I could help. I still have a lot to learn about medicine, but I may be able to ease the pain a little. The Budo already gave me medicine that was supposed to help, but it's done nothing. He hissed, eyes clenched shut. Well I can tell you where to find Tsunade. You always said her medical ninjutsu is unparalleled. She used her fiery chakra to ease the pain in his arms. It didn't take it away, but it made it less intense. I suppose I should thank you? He grinned. Why would you go out of your way to help Lord Orochimaru? Kabuto snuck up behind her. Let's just say I owe him one. If I could do more, I would. It seems Tsunade is your best bet, but I doubt she'll be as willing to help as I am. I have a handy bargaining chip, so don't you worry. He laughed. Well I'll leave you be. No doubt we'll cross paths again soon. Farewell for now. Naruto had just returned to the village with Jiraiya and two faces that were unfamiliar to Sayuri. The SST. Naruto, over here. She was sat on a barrel in an alley. Who's the stranger with you? Her? She's the new Hokage. Her name is Tsunade, and don't let her looks fool you, she's a lot older than you'd think. No way. So that's where you went off to. Yeah and I learned a new jutsu too. You wanna see it? His eyes were wide with excitement. Like I have a choice. 6 p.m. on top of the Hokage cliff. You bet. See you there. He ran off to catch up with Jiraiya. Sayuri went to tell Seito and Senji the news and suggested they go introduce themselves. Sayuri, Seito and Senji. And your sensei is Sharuka. Geez that's a mouthful. You already know who we are, Lady Hokage. Senji asked her. Of course. It's my job to know all the shinobi of the village. And you three certainly stand out. Whose idea was it to allow a team of freshly graduated genin do an S-rank mission? Lord Third. In his defense, it was meant to be a B-rank mission, but we hit a few bumps. Even a B rank is too much for genin. With all respect, Lady Hokage, don't underestimate us. We could even be the next legendary Sannin. Is that so? If you can defeat all three of us then I'll officially acknowledge you as the new Sannin. I'll take that challenge. Just not yet. We have some training to do. You've got fire, I'll give you that. Tell you what, I'll allow you to take the occasional S-rank mission, providing Sharuka signs off on it. Sweet. Thanks Lady Hokage. That evening she met with Naruto and he showed her the Rasengan. Pretty cool trick, but you're kinda slow at doing it. It's taking you too long to build up enough chakra. You'll never hit your opponent. Oh yeah? I bet you I can. Oh bet. Alright you're on. But if you can't land a hit on me, you give up ramen for a month. And if I do? If you do then I'll cook for you every night for a month. I'll even do your chores too. Haha, I'm so gonna win this. Not likely, Naruto. Shadow clone jutsu. He created 4 shadow clones, 3 to distract her, and 1 to help build up chakra. Hope you know how to cook ramen. He had a big grin on his face. He was confident. They sparred for a while, and eventually he did manage to graze her with a Rasengan. It was only at half power as not to hurt her too much. Okay, a deal is a deal. I never specified how hard you had to hit me, and quite frankly I'm impressed you even grazed me. If that had been at full power, I'd have lost my arm. So what's for dinner tonight? Thought you said you wanted ramen. I'll have whatever you cook. His hand up behind his head, he walked with her back to his where she cooked and cleaned. You know something, Naruto, you've really come a long way. I know Sasuke puts you down a lot and calls you a loser, but he's wrong. I think for him it's a matter of pride. To him he started off with everyone expecting so much from him, the last Uchiha. So his bad was already set high, and he can almost reach it. Your bar was set low because no one expected much from you, no offense, and every time you reached it, you moved the bar up. In other words, compared to your teammates you have shown the most improvement. You get stronger all the time and I guess for Sasuke it could feel like he's not getting anywhere and that one day you're going to surpass him. So he puts you down to make himself feel better in a way. She paused and had a stern look on her face. Do not tell him I said any of that. Okay. I get what you're saying though. He looked deep in thought. Everything okay? Yeah. This just brings back memories of the first time you came over and we did this. A smile grew on his face, she thought back to it too, and it made her smile also. Hey Naruto. She ran up behind him and tapped his shoulder. Oh, hey Sayuri, what's up? He was with Sasuke and Sakura. They had all just graduated and been out into teams. I was wondering if you wanted to celebrate graduating. Yeah sure, what did you want to do? Food, of course. She then realized she was being rude. Oh and you guys are welcome too. No thanks. Sasuke said coldly as he closed his eyes and turned his head away. Okay Sakura. Sorry, my mom already has dinner planned. Just you and me then, Naruto. They headed to Ichiraku Ramen when Naruto suddenly stopped. Sayuri. Yeah, what's wrong? You look sad. Thing is, I don't actually have any money so I can't buy us dinner. I can buy it, it's no problem. Plus I invited you, I wouldn't expect you to pay. I feel bad though. Free ramen. She tried to convince him. Okay, just this once though. And I'll pay you back. Oh, I was hoping we could make this a weekly thing. You really want to spend every week with me? Of course. She then had an idea. Hey how's about next time we eat at yours? Sure, I'd like that. And so the following week she went round to his home for dinner. Naruto. Yeah I know it's a little messy, I never have people over or anything and I've just got back from a mission. She had a look around the small apartment. Then looked in the fridge and cupboards. What were you planning to have for dinner? I've got instant ramen. He realized maybe that wasn't the best idea when she let out a sigh. Tell you what, why don't we go do some shopping and I'll cook you something. You can cook. Yeah. It's just something I picked up. Did your parents teach you? He went a bit quiet as he said that. Oh, no. I taught myself. My parents died when I was 6. I'm sorry I brought it up. It's alright. Sometimes talking about these things can help. And it'll help us get to know each other more and understand each other's feelings. He began but she cut him off. I know, Naruto. Don't worry, you don't have to force yourself to talk about it now. I'm always here whenever. Let's not make our first home-cooked meal a sad one. With that they did the shopping and she made teriyaki beef with stir-fried veg and boiled rice on the side. It was the best meal he had eaten to date. Every week she would run up behind him and ask him what he wanted. And she'd go do the shopping, then she'd either go to his or he'd go to hers. It alternated. Yeah, it feels so long ago now, but it wasn't really. She smiled again. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why would you do all this for me? Do you have feelings for me or something? What? No, she shook her head. It's nothing against you, I'm just not interested in dating at the moment. Sorry, it's not anything like that. Then what is it like? I see you more like a brother. I do similar for Sasuke, Seito and Senji. More so for those two Ko's they're on my team and less so for Sasuke Ko's well, he's Sasuke. But yeah, I see you like a brother. She smiled and they finished their meal. Sayuri and her team had been on back-to-back missions, including high-rank missions, as the leaf was short on available shinobi. This sucks. We never have any free time anymore. Seito complained as they walked to the Hokage's office. Yeah, I know. But just try to bear it. I mean we are doing far more missions than before. A lot more ANS rank you mean? True, but so far we've managed to succeed with each one. It's as Lady Tsunade said, the village needs most of the Jonin to stay and help watch over the village. If we were to be attacked again and all the Jonin were out on missions then, that would be the end of the hidden leaf. Exactly. So as Leaf Shinobi it's our duty to pull our weight here. Even if it means risking our lives. Hasn't that always been the case, Sayuri? You've got a point there. They went into the office and Tsunade had a serious look on her face. Here's something you three need to be aware of. If you haven't heard already Sasuke Uchiha has left the village. She said solemnly. What? What do you mean left? Like he just walked out? How could this happen? The team has already been dispatched to retrieve him. We've been told, however, he may be heading to the village hidden in the sound. Well then let's go, we can help them bring him back. No Sayuri, I know you want to help, but there's already enough genin on it. You sent genin to get Sasuke back from the hidden sound. I did. Naruto, Kiba, Neji, Choji are all led by Shikamaru, who is now a Chunin. You know the situation in the village now. I couldn't afford to send anyone else. And you only just returned from your mission, otherwise I'm sure Shikamaru would have chosen you to go with him. I see. Kakashi went after them as well. Even though I ordered him not to. Aaron's my ass. She muttered the last part, but Sayuri still heard her. So you're going to order us not to go too? There's no need, I spared a few extra ninja and medical ninja to go assist. I've never felt so useless. In their sense, your new mission is to stay here and protect the village. Suu like the Anbu? Yeah or not Anbu? Shadow Anbu? Whatever. Just go. Yes ma'am. Sayuri gave her a thumbs up. She was deeply upset, which Seito and Senji could see, but she had to have faith in her friends to bring Sasuke back home. However, a few days went past and they had failed. Most were in critical condition. She saw Shikamaru in the corridor, and when he saw her he wanted to run away so he didn't have to face her, but before he could turn she ran and hugged him. Sayuri. Thank you Shikamaru. She held back her tears. Thank you for trying and bringing everyone back. He paused and hugged her back. He was shocked by her reaction, but it's what he needed. She took care pack a gaze to each of them as soon as they were okay to have visitors. It wasn't long after that Naruto and Sakura left with Jiraiya to go find Orochimaru's hideout. He won't come back, he's only got one goal, and he'll do anything to achieve it. She said angrily. Damn Lord Orochimaru. Lord. Senji's first thought was that she was actually a follower of Orochimaru. Yeah, no matter what he's still a legendary Sannin. And you're going to have to defeat him. Me why me? He panicked. Remember what I said to Lady Tsunade. We are going to be the next legendary Sannin. So we have to defeat them, and a 3-on-1 fight is unfair. So I'll take Tsunade, Seito takes Jiraiya, and you, my little goofball, will take Orochimaru. I guess, but still, I think you're better off taking on Orochimaru because you're more familiar with his jutsu and all. Yeah, and your jutsu is better against his anyway. Seito butted in. Which is why it's more of a challenge for you too. She smiled. I just hate this waiting around now. I wonder why we've not had a mission for a few days. Too many missions, now not enough missions. Make your mind up. I don't want back-to-back missions, but I don't like having days between missions. It's called balance, Seito. Well this gives us time to just chill. And do what? Whatever we want, the village has lots of things to do. The house is clean and the fridge is full, let's go out and do something, it's so nice today. He has a point. A voice from the window agreed. Sharuka-sensei, you know there's this thing called a door. Yes, but the window was already open. Why don't you do something then, sensei? She said with attitude. We never see you do anything other than perv on the women with Jiraiya and Kakashi. I do not. I'm just yeah, can't even think of a good excuse. Why don't you find yourself a girlfriend or something? I will when you find a boyfriend. Ooh, he got you there, Sayuri. Yeah, the whole time we've known you, you've rejected every guy who asked you out. Even Sasuke. I can't even begin to explain why I said no to him. He had off all the girls in class when you did, haha. I don't care. It ain't happening. Come on, just be a normal teenager for once, enjoy your youth, go on a date or something. You know it doesn't always have to be ninja stuff 24/7. I'll consider it. I'm giving it to you as a mission. Go on a date. Be social. Fine, Sharuka-sensei, but I'm not going to enjoy it. And who am I even supposed to ask? I'm not really interested in anyone. There's always yours truly. Seito raised his eyebrows and smirked. Hard pass, she made her arms into a cross shape. Well, I'll leave you with that anyway. I'm gonna go find myself a date. As he turned to leave he tripped on the windowsill and fell, making the three of them laugh. Well, why not have a think? If you had to go on a date with someone, who are your top three? Top three? She began thinking. I guess Shikamaru would be first choice. Oh, tell us why. Alright, gossip Genin. He's super smart so I could definitely have a good conversation with him and he's not too bad looking either. Downside is he'll just say it's a drag. True, second? Senji asked. Second Choji. Who's third? Ino. He joked. Ooh, it's not like that. I mean I've never thought of a girl that way, I'm not ruling it out, but as it stands, no. Besides, she's annoying. So why Choji? He's a nice guy. Plus he knows all the good places to eat. It would be nice to get to know him a bit more as well. Fair enough. Third. That's a tough one I guess Kakashi. Whoa, what? He's far too old. Sharuka-sensei never said it had to be a romantic date. It can be a friend date. No, come on, pick someone properly. Fine Gaara. From our village. Seito said sternly. He is in the village right now so. Fine, so why him? Because I've known him the longest and I always wondered if maybe something was there. I know I feel deeply for him and care about him. I just don't know if it's the same as. Same as what? It was someone a long time ago. You had a crush or? More than that. I know I love him. So what happened? He died. She went quiet and they then realized why she's never shown interest in dating. Sorry, we shouldn't have asked. Never mind. I'm going to ask Choji. She left quickly. They looked at each other, worried. She arrived at the hospital and went to Choji's room. Ino was there, with Choji's father. Oh, I didn't know you already had visitors. It's alright Sayuri, come on in. His dad gestured her to come over. Actually I was wondering if I could talk to Choji alone a minute. Sure, we'll be just down the hall. The two left and so Sayuri and Choji were staring at each other. She hesitated and felt her cheeks go warm. She couldn't get the words out. Thinking about what to say, she realized she's never asked anyone out before and it was making her nervous. So what's up? Choji, would you? Would I what? He was slightly annoyed by her taking so long to say what she was going to say. Would you go on a date with me? She said it so fast, Ino, eavesdropping, almost missed it. Ino gasped and put her hand over her mouth, then ran away. She then immediately came back. No. He answered. Oh, Sayuri felt her spirit leave her body. Rejection hurts. Okay, sorry to bother you. It's like she deflated. She went to go ask Shikamaru. Hey I have something to ask you, but you'll just say it's a total drag and I don't think I can take being rejected twice in the same day, but I have to ask will you go on a date with me? She closed her eyes and put her hands together in a pleading gesture. Sure. Wait, really? Yeah. I mean you're right, it does sound like a total drag, but I gotta ask, what do you mean twice? Who's you asked before? She laughed nervously. Choji. Strange, would have thought he'd say yes. Maybe he's just not up for it. What's brought this on so suddenly anyway? Sharuka-sensei said I need to go out and be social and be a normal teenager for once. You're not even a teenager yet though, are you? From what I recall you're actually a year below my class, but you got moved up into ours and graduated at the same time as us. Yeah, that's right. You're interesting, I'll give you that. He smirked. 6 p.m. I'll come pick you up from yours. Sure. I don't mind where we go either, but food would be nice. Whatever you want, you're the girl and it would be even more of a drag if I picked somewhere you didn't like. See you at 6. She smiled and went home to get ready. It was 6:30 and no sign of him until there was a sudden knock at the door. Hey Shikamaru, I was worried you changed your mind. Nah, I didn't mean to keep you waiting. I stopped by to see Choji and Ino started tapping on about how you asked him out and he said no. Man that girl can talk. In short, he said no because he thought it was a prank. Why would he think that? No one has ever asked him out and Ino used to say he'll never get a girlfriend because of his weight, then the prettiest girl in class comes along and asks him out of nowhere. You never explained to him why you were asking him out. I thought it best to just accept his answer and respect his decision. I didn't want to pressure him or anything. I get that. I just think he might have given a different answer if he knew. At the end of the day it's not like I have a crush on anyone. But I shouldn't rule it out right. Maybe we'll have a good time and maybe there will be a second date. Such a drag. He laughed to himself. She couldn't help but laugh too. They went to the BBQ place and had a good night, they even played a game of shogi, she lost of course. Hey Shikamaru, she seemed sullen. Yeah, what's up? You not having a good night? It's not that. I really have had a good time and please don't take this personally. I just don't think I'm ready to start dating anyone. Hey, I get it. If you're not ready then you're not ready. If I were then I'd definitely ask you for a second date. She blushed and then so did he. It was late when she got home, Shikamaru had walked her, being the gentleman he is. So how's it go? Senji asked her. Why are you guys still here? Waiting? Said Seito. It went fine. Her face was expressionless. So when's the second date? There isn't one. Why not? Seito seemed somewhat disappointed. I'm just not ready for dating. Maybe should have asked Gaara. Might have been different than last time. No way, I ship Shikari. Senji stated. I think it wouldn't have made a difference. Me and Gaara are just best friends. And Shikamaru is a close friend too. Like I said I'm just not ready. As she said this, Seito remembered what she had said before. Okay. We won't press any further. If you ever want to talk about it, you know we're here. Seito comforted her. So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Bye bye.